Hello, so as you know, I do a lot of hiking. Some of you might be wondering what sort of kit I use. So I'm going to go through what I wear, my boots, and what's in my rucksack. I'm not endorsing the products in any way, they're just ones I've tried and I find they work for me. So we'll start off with the obvious ones. Boots. These are a pair of Scarpa-Terra 2s. My second pair of these boots. They are a leather construction with Gore-Tex lining. You can just see the label there. They're great boots basically. I started off with a pair of Scarpa Mistrals back in 2019. They needed replacing, so I got another pair that I found didn't work for me, so they got changed. And I changed them for my original pair of Scarpa-Terra 2s, which I've still got. They've got a bit of life in them at the moment. I had a pair of Mindales. They're great scrambling boots, but unfortunately they gave up the ghost last year after some pretty serious mountains. They started wetting out, so it's time to get rid of them. They've done about 1,500 miles, so it's not really surprising. 24-hour walk, Castor and Yom, so yeah, they've seen a fair bit of use. But yeah, my opinion, Scotland, leather, Gore-Tex, you can't go wrong. Been through several bogs with these, never had wet feet, so yeah, great, but you must take care of them obviously. I use a Scarpa dubbing that you put on and clean them, and then the dubbing goes on and that reinvigorates them. They're waterproof them apparently. Right, under them I wear these. These are Smartwool socks. Got recommended these as an upgrade, so I originally had some Peterstall Cool Max, I think they were called. But yeah, these were an upgrade, need some new ones, some of my old ones are wearing out. They're not cheap, they're £25 a pair, and with a £170 pair of boots, you're already looking nearly £200. You can do stuff cheaper, but I have found a lot of the cheaper stuff does not last as long, and with the amount of hiking that I do, it pays to have a slightly better kit. These were wicking socks. They basically take the sweat away from your feet and they keep your feet warm and cool, which is weird. But yeah, great socks. Been trying these out recently. Did the Havers Wool Path in them. Great socks. Highly recommend. Trousers. So, excuse these being a bit muddy. Come back from a recent hike. These are a pair of Montane Terras. About £100 a pair I think now. I had to replace the belt on them because unfortunately I decided it would be a good idea to catch it in a bush and rip the end of it. So it's got a newer Montane belt, but it's a slightly thicker one, which I find slightly better as well. They're great. They've got leg vents, they've got secure pocket. They're a vast improvement over my original Carrymore ones, which were basically a cheap pair. I've got a pair of mountain equipment ones in the cupboard, which I tend to use as well, but they're more of a winter trouser because they're slightly thicker. These ones I find will keep me warm, keep me cool if it's really hot, whereas the mountain equipment ones I tend to overheat a little in the summer. Not a problem at the moment. But yeah, great trousers. They are, I cannot endorse them enough. Well, I shouldn't endorse them really, but yeah, these are just great trousers. You see a lot of people in hills wearing these. They're definitely a very, very popular trouser. Base layer, again, Montane. It's not always been Montane. This is £35 base layer. It was upgraded again from an OEX base layer. I've had two of those since 2019 when I started hiking, and they're just reaching the point where they need replacing. Still got them, but yeah, they're not as good as some of the newer products I needed. Wore this for a week doing the Havers Wool Path, and I still smell it relatively fresh, so that's always a bonus. Whereas the OEX ones I've noticed can get a bit funky. This will keep me warm. Again, it will keep me cool if it's hot, and it tends to work better wicking sweat away. On top of that, I have a Montane fleece. This one. Again, I haven't always used Montane products, but I'm finding they're great at the moment. It's just a basic Montane fleece. I don't believe there's a particular make on it. Can't see one. It's just a Montane fleece that I picked up for about 35 quid in a outdoor shop when I was in Inverness last year, because I need a better fleece. Again, I use Peter Storm ones. I've got a Rab one for the winter, but yeah, these are just great fleeces again. So that's what I wear when I go hiking. Right, now, let's just move that over there. Top of that, my actual kit that I use. So, first things, water bottles. These are two 750ml water bottles. Usually carry litre ones in the summer, simply because they've got slightly more water in them, obviously. However, Scotland at the moment the weather's not great. I'm finding, like when I went out last Tuesday, that I took both. I came back with half to 3/4 of one, so I've obviously got enough water. If it gets a bit warmer, I upgrade them for the bigger ones. They're just standard water bottles from the outdoor shop, cost me about £6 each, I think. They're aluminium, prefer aluminium because they're a bit more bomb proof, I find. A couple of the plastic ones I've had, I've sort of been out, dropped one and it's split, and then you're like down to buy a water bottle, whereas these can take a bashing. As you can see, the black one's definitely a bit battered. One of my 1 litre ones is even worse. So yeah, 1.5 litres of water at least on a day out. Right, so this rucksack. This is a Osprey Talon 33 litre. I've had it since 2019. In my opinion, it is a great rucksack. It's starting to show its age a little bit now. It's done probably, I reckon 3,000 plus miles. It's been out in all weathers. It's been exposed to all weathers. It's been dropped down mountains. It's fallen in snow. It's fell in rivers. It's gone in bramble bushes accidentally. It's rolled down hills. It's seen some pretty serious abuse, and it's still going. Some of the seams are starting to stretch out, and I am looking probably next year I will have to replace it, which I'll be honest, I'm quite annoyed about because I wanted to finish my Monroe round with it. But yeah, I'm going to basically use it till it is unsuitable for use. It comes with various pockets. You've got a mesh pocket at the back, you've got 2 mesh pockets at the sides here, which is where the water bottles go. You've got hip pouches either side. You've got a zip pocket on top. You have access for a water bladder here, which I never use because I don't use water bladders anymore. Nice airscape mesh panel. What I also find useful with this one is this attachment here, which is basically walking poles. So you can take your walking poles out, you can put one through there, through this little wire loop down here, which you might just be able to see at the bottom, and you can basically just store them out of the way temporarily, so you don't have to constantly put them on the back loops, which are here and here, which is quite handy. So, what have I got in here? As you can see, it's pretty stuffed, so we'll start with the outside first. The pouch here, I haven't got one in there at the moment because I've taken it out. I store a map. It is a spare map. I usually carry 2 maps. So, maps. So, what I tend to do is, I have a spare map that goes in here, and then I will have the map that I use put in the top pouch. This one will basically stay in here as a spare in case this one blows away. So, what maps do I use? This is a OS Ordnance Survey 1 to 25,000 map. It's printed off from their website and laminated by myself because I found that's the best way of doing things. Otherwise I'd spend a fortune on the actual maps. I do have some of the maps. They are expensive, but I must admit there's nothing like spreading a great big OS map out on the floor. But this just makes it easier. It's a lot less wasteful. I can take them to a place that will shred them, and they can then be recycled as well. I will carry this one, which is a 1 to 25,000 map. Shows the area in great detail. This happens to be of Dalwhinnie. 2 Munros I did February and a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I carry 1 to 25,000, and I also carry 1 to 40,000, which shows a bigger area. Safety basically. You might find you wander off the edge of somewhere with this one, like off the edge of the map, not off the edge of the mountain. So just gives you a better perspective of the whole area, and that gives you perspective of the small area. So with this, these would be my main maps. They would be in the top, and then I'll have another set which would go in there. Attachment here from my Garmin. I have a Garmin eTrex. I'll go more into that in a minute. Right, this bag also comes with a little pouch here. I've never actually found out what it's for. Mobile phone doesn't fit in there. I honestly couldn't tell you what it's for. I've never used it. These ones are for your water bladders, and I use this one to attach my eTrex mount. So, what's in it? So we'll start with the top pouch. We have one basic pair of running gloves, cheap pair from a certain sports store. Shouldn't probably really name which one. Always carry them simply because it can get a bit rough, a bit chilly. They will just keep the chill off. They also work well as an underlayer or underglove for my bigger gloves in the winter. One head torch, works off AAA batteries. It has to be a Petzl Ticker. I think that's how it's pronounced. I found it, I will be honest with you. I was out on a walk when I lived down in Folkestone, and it just happened to be laying there. I picked it up, I took it home, I put it on several lost and found pages. Nobody claimed it, so I ended up with it. In my opinion, it's great. It's got a couple of nice features I like. It's got a tilting head torch light. You've got 2 different light settings, I believe, maybe 3. There's a little white bit which actually glows in the dark, so when you turn the light on and then turn it off, that bit glows. You can see the light for about 2 hours apparently. And you've obviously got the adjustable headband, which also happens to have a whistle on it. Yeah, I've got like 3 whistles. Yeah, that's my head torch. Yeah, this is a whistle. Here. See? Sorry. Right. Also in this one, got the Garmin eTrex. That will click on here. There we go. Do it back to front, so it's a bit awkward. This was about £200 from an outdoor store. Why did I buy it? I brought it because I went up a mountain. The weather was bad. Couldn't navigate off the map very well because I couldn't see more than about 3 feet. So yeah, started using my phone, but it was which was my backup at the time, and it was absolutely awful. My phone was getting wet to the point I thought if it gets much wetter, then I'm going to have a serious problem here because my phone won't work. So this one is IP44 rated, I believe. It's just great. You can download the GPX files that you use for the maps from the OS site and Walk Highlands website, put them all on it, it will track you. It's genuinely a great device. I'll go more into that probably in another video, but yeah, great thing to have. Also in here, oh there we go, map, left it in there obviously. We've got this little orange bag, hand gel, always carry that. My other rucksacks, it will go in the hip pocket. This one it doesn't fit quite as well because it's a slightly bigger bolt, so it goes in here. It's pretty self-explanatory what that's for. If you soak it with wood shavings, apparently it actually makes good firelight. I've never tried it. It may be something I'll try later this year, I think. I also may carry a few snacks in there. I haven't got any at the moment, so I've taken them out. So, put that there a minute in this bag. So in this bag It's just a standard dry bag from the sports store. Carrymore one, bought them when I first started hiking. They're still working, so I'm not going to replace them. But yeah, dry bags, can't rate them enough. I like these ones. This is a extra small apparently. There is various other sizes, extra small I've got in there I believe. Medium, I think the other one I've got is large, which is huge. It's great, you can compartmentalise your kit and it keeps your kit dry. So yeah, great thing to have. It means I can go into my bag and even at night I know what colour this is in the dark. So I go, oh, orange bag, that's my hat and gloves. So, one bobble hat, gone through various hats over the years. Currently on a red bobble hat because I think it looked pretty cool. Put it on. Get some opinions on that I suppose. Yeah, there you go, just a bobble hat. Actually nearly needed it on Tuesday. We have a pair of Trek Mates. They are Gore-Tex gloves. They're quite a thick glove. They have loops, so you can put your wrist, put the loop over your wrist, put your hand in the glove, and then when you're up the mountain, if you need to take your glove off, it doesn't blow away. It's quite handy. Quite like that idea. They're Gore-Tex. As I said before, I'm a great lover of Gore-Tex. I believe it is a great product. It works. I've had several others that don't work as well. I've got a pair of Altberg boots for the winter. They're B2 rated with crampons. We won't go too much into those at the moment, so I'll do that in another video. They have a Sympatex liner, I think. Great product. I find it doesn't work quite as well as Gore-Tex, but they're still great boots, I hasten to add. But yeah, thick gloves, always carry them all year round. Again, nearly needed them on Tuesday. Neck buff. So the idea of the neck buff, as some of you probably know, goes over your neck like that. Keeps your neck warm if it's really bad, and obviously you can put it up there. In the winter I'll put my ski goggles over it. It's great. Also good as a in the summer as a midge protection. That's why I carry another one. So let's bring the bag back over. As you can see, it's starting to get very battered. I'll open this one because it'll be easier. Mesh pocket. The outer mesh pocket, great for keeping slightly damp gear separate, I suppose. It's a great product. I love Osprey, I'll be honest. Tried a couple of other bags and yeah, I always end up back with the Osprey ones. One spoon, pretty for self-explanatory, long handle spoon so I don't get bean juice all over my fingers. Sun cream, should probably use that a bit more. We have paracord, always carry paracord. Used this a couple of times to lower my rucksack down. Bits that it's easy to climb down without a rucksack. We've got one sun hat, boonie hat, brought it off Amazon, nothing fancy, just like the style and it keeps the sun off the back of my neck as well as the front. One MSR water filter. People say you can drink directly from the streams in Scotland. It is probably true. It is true, I have done it. However, I've got a water filter. This one basically you put that into the water, squeeze out, water comes out the top end there. There is a filter in here, if you can see that. Basically you pump it, it forces it through there and it comes out. It removes 99.9% of bacteria. Apparently you can either use it to fill a bottle or you can drink straight out of there. Great product. You know what's in the stream further up, could be a dead sheet, so always carry one. Selfie stick. This goes with the recent addition on my action camera, which I'm currently filming on, so I can't show you that. But yeah, it's a recent addition. Don't really need it, but I've started doing a few more videos. Right, inside the top lid we have a mesh pocket, and in there I have a little Ziploc bag from the supermarket, spare battery for my action camera, various other spare batteries in there which are from my the AA ones are for my GPS device, and 3 AAA ones which go from my head torch and my backup torch, a notepad, a couple of pencils, waterproof notepad I hasten to add. Never used it, might need it if, for example, you're lost. It can be a lot easier to write stuff down sometimes, and some blister plasters. We've also got a little attachment in here where you can put your keys. You can put your keys on there, zip it up, nice and secure. Tend not to go in that pocket, basically because my keys are in there, and anything I need in there is sort of not last resort, but right at the back of the equipment I need. We have down here the zip hip pocket. This particular one on the right, that's where I always put my snacks because I'm left-handed. So all my tools and that are in my left one, but yeah, various snacks, protein bars, etc, etc. On the left one we will have signal mirror, built-in compass, nothing fancy, just a replacement for my other one that I lost, and hurricane whistle. Yeah, standard survival equipment really. Yeah, great. A little backup torch. Again, this one I believe came from an outdoor store in a bargain. Got a couple of these. I like them because they're AAA, so they basically provide a backup from a head torch, and they use the same batteries, so I don't have to worry about what batteries I'm using. A lighter, always handy. If the ignition on the stove packed up, for example, could use it on there. There's another use for it, which you'll see shortly. Swiss Army knife, always handy. Yeah, again, had this a couple of years now. It's not the biggest one, it's not the smallest one. It's probably not even the medium range one, but yeah, it's a great thing to have. And it saves me carrying a pair of shears and a pair of scissors because it's got all the attachments. Shears and scissors was in my first aid kit, and I took them out because they were ridiculously heavy. Also attached to this one we have my main compass, which happens to be a silver because they're good compasses. This replaced an earlier one that basically broke. Standard base plate compass. Use it all the time along with the map. Won't go into too much detail about using it with maps at the moment, but yeah, it's a great compass. If you're going out hiking, in Scotland especially, you should always carry a map and compass and know how to use it. Technology is great until it goes wrong. Equally, maps are great until they blow away. So, but yeah, always carry a map and compass. Napkins, always collect napkins, always handy. Right, this bag again comes with another compression strap, so you can flip the top up and make it nice and tight, which is another feature that I quite like. We've got the drawstring, just pull on that, so even with thick gloves on it's relatively easy. So we're going to the main compartment. There's only one big main compartment on this particular rucksack. Multi-mat, sit mat, sitting down obviously. I'm using it actually as a tray for food that way up. It's great. Cost me a couple of quid, saves me getting a wet bottom on wet days. We have a Berghaus Ridgemaster waterproof jacket. Again, this replaced some of my earlier cheaper kit. The zips have got a rubber coating on the outside which makes them extra waterproof. It has zips under the armpits for ventilation, which is quite handy. You can walk along and get a nice light draft blowing through, because you do tend to overheat your waterproofs, I find. Got 3-layer construction with the mesh, the Gore-Tex and an outer layer. Again, Gore-Tex, can't recommend it enough. Brought it to replace a cheaper one basically that just ended up wetting out after much use. Trousers. Got a pair of, even though it says Peter Storm trousers, this is not Peter Storm trousers in here. This bag happens to be the ones my original trousers came in. It's just quite a handy stuff sack to use. Again, they just reached the end of their life, so they needed replacements, so I upgraded. So just pull the trousers out. There you go. Stuff sack trousers. These are a pair of Berghaus, I believe. Yep, Berghaus Hydra Shell. These are not Gore-Tex. It's the only waterproof stuff I don't use with Gore-Tex because I find I've tended to overheat. They have a water resistant coating, which occasionally I wash them and it tops up the coating. Great thing, they come with hip length zips. You just see it there, looks like a pair of flares. There you go, so you can basically get them out, unzip them, get your boots on, through, makes it nice and easy to put your boots on, and then you zip up and just walk, just pop them up. Again, these are great trousers. I've used them easily the other week. There we go. And just do poppers up, please. Yeah, great trousers. Used them on Tuesday because it was particularly wet up there. We'll go into that one in a minute. Food, always carry some food. I do have usually a little bag at the bottom with some emergency food in it, which I've taken out because I noticed it's getting to the end of its shelf life, so I've replaced that. But yeah, various snacks. These are great. Long spoon, these get to the bottom to get stuff out. The all day breakfast one, which this happens to be, very good in a sandwich. Yeah, they're great. So you can heat them hot or cold, so you can heat them up with a stove or a chemical heat packet, which I have in the cupboard. And they go great in a sandwich, hot or cold as well, believe it or not. Pair of binoculars, recent addition, started needing to look at things a bit further away, so they'll carry a small pair of those. Supermarket bag, cheap dry bag basically, till it contains a pair of gaiters. These are just a standard pair of Rab Gore-Tex gaiters. My trousers were getting wet at the bottom. Somebody suggested gaiters, which I should have realised before. So it was the experience coming in. But yeah, great. Loop goes around your boot. They velcro up the back. They look like that from the front with a drawstring at the top. They have seen a fair bit of use. They are getting pretty battered now, so not surprising. But yeah, they're great. Keep my trousers dry. They're especially great in the winter. Yeah, one pair of gaiters. Waterproof bag cover. This one happens to come off my Osprey Kestrel, the 38 litre one. Weirdly, the Talon is the only bag in the Osprey range I can find that doesn't come with a waterproof cover, which is a bit weird. But yeah, so I'll just use one off my Kestrel. It's just as well, it's got a very good attachment point actually. So you put that on, so I'll put that through this little hole here, loop around a couple of times, means if it comes off, it doesn't blow away, so quite expensive. I usually carry a book. This one happens to be Jason Fox, Battle Scars. Always handy if you're sitting somewhere out the rain, having a bit of lunch out the rain, or even if you're on the train going somewhere. Always good to have a book with you. Right, so what else we got? We've got another dry bag. This one contains my spare thermal layer. So I've got a jumper. My older Peter Storm jumper, basically because it's summer. In the winter, my slightly thicker one would go in there, and I'd probably be wearing my Rab one because that is a winter one. And we have a pair of socks. Again, the same socks as I used earlier. Just a spare pair. It's always good to have a spare pair of socks. Your feet might overheat. You might get your socks wet. It's nothing like having a spare pair of socks. We have midge kit, containing a midge hood. Won't put it on now, it's just basically a big net that goes over your head. A neck buff, so I put the midge hood on, put the neck buff on over the midge hood and it seals it round here. And some smidge, which sometimes works, but the Scottish midge is a voracious beast. It's freaking huge, about that big apparently. Again, all in a Ziploc bag, just keeps it together out of the way. Toilet kit, hand gel, toilet paper, little trowel, the lighter, that's why I've got the backup lighter. Again, a little Ziploc bag, pretty self-explanatory what that's for. We have a set of walking poles. These are my folding walking poles. I got them off Amazon, I believe. They come in their own bag. I'll be honest, I was a bit dubious because they were quite cheap. But yeah, they're great walking poles to be honest. They got a little Velcro strap here, which you undo. They then come apart like that. You slide that pole down. They slot together. Little silver bit comes out, nice and stiff. You can extend them a bit more. I find that I'm usually about this height because I'm quite short. But yeah, great. I do have a longer set of Vangos in the cupboard, which I've got these basically because the Vangos attach on the outside here and here. These ones can go in the rucksack. They can go across the top of the rucksack, so they're a bit more versatile. Basically, because I want to do some more scrambling and I don't want too much stuff on the outside of the rucksack. We're going to scramble in another video. But yeah, they're great. Used them on the Hadrian's Wall path in June. Great. To be honest, I am quite surprised. They come with various other end cap attachments because these ones do come off apparently. They're probably a bit jammed on now. Oh, there we go. So that's the end cap. I found in the winter that I tend to remove the end caps because this digs in better in the snow. It's probably not ideal. And then you've got the baskets. These are the summer ones. You can see they're starting to look a bit battered. Yeah, don't hold up very long on any walking poles. But yeah, great. About 18 quid off Amazon, highly recommend. We have survival bag. So again, I've had this since 2019. I don't believe it's got a use by date on it. It is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's a waterproof thermal bag. So basically, it's designed for one person. You get in it if you're in trouble, and it will keep you warm. That is basically it. Thankfully, I've never needed to use it. I do have a foil blanket in my first aid kit as well, and it'll insulate you until help arrives, hopefully. It would have to be pretty severe for me to use this, I'll be honest, which is why it's still sealed. It's also bright orange apparently, according to the picture. I can't guarantee it's orange because I've never actually opened it. But yeah, it makes you more visible. That's also part of the reason I've got blue tops now, like light blue, because you stand out more. I've seen a couple of videos on like people have gone missing. They tend to be wearing dark coloured kit, so I'm in the opinion if I've got bright coloured kit I might be easier to find, hopefully, if the worst happens. Right at the bottom, yeah, that's it in there now. Right, so we have one first aid kit in a Ziploc bag. Ziploc bags are relatively cheap. They are recyclable as well, which is quite handy. This happens to be the mountain first aid kit, which was a replacement for my other first aid kit, which, apart from a few bits, I didn't actually use too much. Always good. And basically the parts went out of date, so it needed replacing, so I bought myself a slightly more upmarket one. This is quite a comprehensive first aid kit. It opens up, several pouches. We've got various medications, paracetamol, ibuprofen, some other tablets, hay fever tablets, some Imodium in there. We've got a glow stick, we've got gaffer tape, we've got wound and dressing care here. We've got accessories down here like there's zinc oxide tape, there's micropore tape, there's plasters, there's hygienic wipes, there's gloves, you name it, it's in there. Yeah, we've got eye dressings. Again, use some of it. Plaster's the main thing. Thankfully I haven't had to use much of it, but it is quite a comprehensive one. We do have a nice little info pouch here. There's, like I said, there's gloves on it. It's great. It did come with a pair of scissors and a pair of shears, which I took out because they were fairly heavy. They were basically scissor use only. I've got the Swiss Army knife, which does the same job. It is a lot more versatile, so you can use that for other things. Put that there. And the final bag that I have is this one. Again, this is just a standard dry bag, Carrymore from a certain sports shop. This is the extra small one apparently. I think it is probably the smallest one in their range. We shall tip this out. There we go. We've got a couple of leads in here, charging leads, universal charging leads. That one's for charging the power bank. I do like this one because it comes with various plugs, so you can attach it pretty much how you want, and all the other ones will work on it. So plug in the USB, you get all power for them. Plug in the Type C one, and you also get all power for them. It is quite handy. It's especially good if you're out in a group and somebody's got an iPhone and somebody's got an Android, because you can charge both at the same time from the same power bank. So it's quite handy. Power bank, not any particular make, brought off Amazon. It's 20,000 amp hour capacity. It is great. It takes forever to charge up, and once it's charged up, I can get about 8 charges of my phone out of it, I suppose. It is probably on the list to be replaced, simply because I want to get one with the solar panel, because apparently they're quite good. I can then attach that one with the solar panel on top of my bag. The sun will come down when we get sun in Scotland, and we'll charge it hopefully. We've got more batteries, more AAA batteries, always good to have spares. Plug, USB plugs, and plug the various leads into it. Obviously, there you go. Then charge stuff rather than using my power bank. Sniper tape, the army version of gaffer tape, good for field repairs. I actually used this pair to repair someone's boots once. Down a hike, the sole became detached from the upper. Wrapped that around it about 4 times. Got them about another 10 miles down the road and gone back to the car. Obviously the boots were knackered, but yeah, it's quite good to have. I've seen people use it to replace patch tents. I do use it on my rucksack actually. You can probably just see some there. Tie up these straps so they're not so long. It will probably need replacing. It's starting to get bleached and it's taking a bit of a battering. I have spare pair of laces from my boots, nothing special, just a cheap pair of laces, in case I get an issue with those, and I carry a spare compass. So spare compasses. Now I've got my main compass, I've got this compass, I've got a little compass on my survival mirror, I have a Garmin Fenix 6 solar watch, which I haven't got on at the moment. That has an electronic compass. I've got the OS Locate app on my phone here. That has a compass. So I've got various options. But it's all just basic backups. Again, if I'm out on the hill, I use a map and compass. I will use GPS as a backup. If it really comes to it, then I will use my phone. this has worked a couple of times because I've found some of the summits that are marked on the GPS can be a bit off. I'm not really sure why that is. I had it at Kriegruder the other week. I was at the summit. My phone was telling me I was on the summit. The map was telling me I was on the summit. It was quite obvious I was on the summit because I'm on the highest point. But the GPS was telling me that the summit was actually 25 metres into the open air. So yeah, it's just backups, to be honest. So there it is. That's all my gear, and that is what I carry in my rucksack. Again, like I said, don't endorse any of the products in any way. They're just what works for me. If you've got any questions, please feel free to come and ask. We will go more into other gear in a later video.